How we doing, sports fans? Ghost Picks team, Justin here. I'm gonna cut right to it. We only had two plays today. We went 0-2. It was not good. Top play of the day was Tampa Bay Lightning on that stupid puck line. I always say I don't like puck line, and today's a perfect example of why I don't like it. Um, Granted, Tampa Bay 100% should have scored 5 goals today, and they just could not seem to get past. Uh, they just couldn't. They couldn't score. It was really frustrating to watch. They dominated the entire game. They held possession the entire time. It looked like they were on a continuous power play throughout the entire day. Don't get me wrong. Detroit, they had some good goaltending. It was not a close game at all. Even when it was 5-on-3, they weren't generating chances. It was just absolute domination by Tampa Bay. But the fact that they couldn't score and win by 2 was very frustrating. Obviously, I was sitting there hoping for the empty netter. We didn't get it, and they ended up winning by 1. And and to them it doesn't matter, and that's the frustrating part about going puck line rather than just doing even regulation or just money line. But that's all the options we had today. I mean, there was no value in a regulation game. There was absolutely no value in money line. Maybe Detroit -1.5, but I still would have taken Tampa Bay -1.5 rather than Detroit +1.5. And that's just the kind of day that it was, and it was very unlucky. We also had Nashville. I mean, not Nashville. We had the Houston Astros on the money line as well. They blew a 3-run lead. I mean, it was a good baseball game. It was frustrating, to say the least. They ended up losing 5-4, I believe it was. But both were small unit plays, 3 units. But that adds up and it's frustrating. Tomorrow, got a ton of hockey games. I'm pretty excited about it. Definitely ready for that. We're really going to have to try to deep dive in and make sure that we're knowing who's playing, who's not playing, and more so who's playing for what and what they're playing for. I think that's going to be the key down the stretch. Finding out what teams need to reposition and find seeding for themselves, and what teams are content in just resting and getting healthy into the playoffs. That's going to do a lot, and that way we can capitalize before we hit the playoffs and make some money before we hit our huge playoff run that we're about to go into. Tomorrow's free play, I like the Nashville Predators regulation versus the Columbus Bluejackets. I have yet to see a line open for that in regulation, but I think it's going to be right around maybe even money or -110. And I think Nashville, like I said, is one of those teams that has a lot to play for. Chicago and Dallas, not so much Chicago, more so Dallas, are right on their heels. And this is a game versus the Columbus team that they have to have. They can't chance it, can't let it go into OT. And right now, the Blue Jackets, they are down their top goaltender. So they got their number 2 in. And, I mean, he hasn't played terrible, but at the same time, I think that extra push that Nashville needs to get into the playoffs is going to go ahead and get them where they need to be. I really like Nashville in regulation tomorrow, and that's my free play for you guys. As always, good luck, God bless, grind on, and let's go.